still trying to decide if that's going to be in the thumbnail or if just me or me just did the
Hey guys, Carson just realized I was filming him. He didn't know it. What a beginning to a video, right?
Yeah.
So some of you might have seen him before. He was in a video before when we went to the shed, and he's just sitting here hanging out with me. He ain't got nothing else better to do than to come like all the way from almost Meridian, Mississippi to come hang out in this shop to kind of help with this thing right here. I don't know what he's going to help me with, but who knows? Maybe he can hold the camera or something like that. But anyway.
What's going on, y'all?
What's the name of your channel again for those who are new subscribers since last week?
Country Coder.
Country Coder on YouTube. And that link is going to be right there. Yeah, that's it. To his channel. Anyway, enough with the blah, 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 blah. We're going to get to work. Okay, just in case you haven't figured out what's going on yet, because normally in the beginning of a video, I say what I'm going to do. Well, even though I was kind of vague when I said that Carson's going to give me a hand. Give me a hand in what? Well, as you can see, I'm tearing apart the top end of this Softail, like I said in the last video. And I'm still on the fence of am I going to replace the rings, hone out the cylinders and all that stuff, because it runs fine the way it is already. It doesn't knock, it doesn't smoke, it just leaks a little oil. But it's got great compression too. So I might just replace the gaskets and leave the rings alone. I don't know. That all depends on the kind of the damage that I might see on the cylinder walls. That sounds kind of extreme. Damage?
Yeah.
Wear and tear. I'll say it like
Wear
that.
And tear.
Yeah.
I mean, you are talking about Evo. They don't ever get damaged.
They don't? Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's why I had to fix the tramp, right? No, I'm just kidding. I'll cut that part out. But anyway, he's going to hold the camera probably, or he's going to give me good ideas. You know, like for example, he reminds me when to move the camera so I can get a better shot, you know, so you guys can enjoy this video better than what you normally would if you're just watching raw footage, because raw footage is boring, isn't it?
Yes, it
is. Who wants to
boring.
watch raw footage? That's why I don't do live feeds very much. I think that's why people unsubscribe. You know, whenever I do a live feed, people usually unsubscribe because I think it's like that guy who has a little too much to drink and he goes home with his one night stand and then he wakes up the next morning all hungover and he can see clearly what he went home with, and then he unsubscribes, right? That's like you guys, when you see a really overly produced video of mine and then you see me live, you go, ugh, because you've gotten too drunk and intoxicated with how I edit these videos. So anyway, blah, 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 blah. Whoever had this bike before me many moons ago had an issue with oil leaks from the rocker boxes, so I'm guessing that they leaked at one time. That's why they got good gaskets on them right now. Okay, fast forward a little bit. Check out the mess we made. We got the heads and the rocker boxes sitting on a garbage can with all the push rods. And we got number 2 cylinder, or the rear cylinder, sitting here on the table with the wrist pin. And it's still got the piston down in there. Isn't that cool? But this is what we have done between now and the last time I turned the camera off. This is how we're doing this, okay? being that I said that I don't know if I'm going to replace the rings along with the gaskets, you know, and hone the cylinders and all that stuff, I'm basically leaving myself the option to, you know, still make that decision later on. But here's how I'm doing it without removing the pistons from the cylinder. You get the cylinder up just past the wrist pin, and then you pull the circlip out, whichever side you want to pull it out from, and then you push the wrist pin out, and then the cylinder and the piston lift up off that rod that's in there. Except number 2 cylinder was a little bit of a booger bear, because apparently on Softail frames you don't have much clearance. So once we got number 2 cylinder unhooked, we had to push the piston back up in the cylinder so we can have some clearance to get that thing out. So it's definitely not that practical, but that's just the way we're doing it. And Carson's been such a big help. What'd you think about working on Evos?
Hey, I got an Evo myself, so I'm learning a good bit. So if I have to do this to my Sportster, then I can do it to my Sportster.
The reason why he can say that is because I've done this more than once, and Evo Sportsters, that is 03 and back, the top ends go together and come apart just like a big twin Evo. Everything is exactly the same. The only difference is just engine displacement, you know, the size of the bore and the stroke, but you get it. So there we go. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to get this off of here. You pretty much got the idea. I doubt I'm going to film it because, you know, I don't want to like say curse words on camera, you know, and have to go beep, beep, beep in the editing. So, but basically you're going to get that little circlip out. It looks like that. And oh yeah, and when you take those things out, you see how we got some paper towels right here? Or not paper towels, just regular towels. You always want to cover up the holes before you pull the circlip out, because if that circlip comes out and goes down inside the engine case, guess what? You're going to have a very bad day. You're going to have to pull the engine out, take the rest of it apart, and split the cases to get it out. So always remember, put some rags over those gaping open holes. Okay? So let's see what's next. This is what's happened next. As I was just saying, we've got both cylinders sitting here on the bench. And Carson is going to provide some light so we can show you guys something. Just looking at the sidewalls of the pistons, I mean, they look pretty freaking good. I mean, this is the front one. I mean, there's some scuff from typical 41,000 miles worth, but this is really nothing. I mean, here's the rear one. They're not really all that beat up. Inside the cylinders, I can still see the cross hatching. I don't know if you guys can see that. I mean, it's a little glazed, but you know, for 41,000 miles, I guess it's allowed to look like that to some degree. I mean, after all, it's not like the pistons look like this. This, like what came out of the Tramp. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not, but there's some serious scuffing on the side of this piston right here. And this piston only had about, like, I want to say, not even 30,000 miles on it yet. So anyway, I guess that's about cuts that. And I think Carson here has had enough fun for one day, and he's got some confidence now if he ever has to work on his Evo Sportster. Right. And I don't know, what do you got to say?
I don't know, I've enjoyed it, you know. I mean, I enjoy learning, because I mean, that's part of what, you know, doing YouTube is about, is learning from other people and stuff like that. So
yeah, and we just had a discussion with Kenny at Scooters before we came back over here, and we were talking about the old biker brotherhood. Was the big part of it was coming together and help out on each other's motorcycles. People back in those days didn't say, hey, you want to take a ride? No, they usually said, is your bike running yet? Or is your bike running right now?
Right.
And if it wasn't, all your friends would gather together and we'd all work on each other's bikes and got them going. And then I was told what killed that part of the brotherhood was the advent of the Evo motor, because they just wouldn't break. Well, check it out. I guess they don't break. I mean, they can go a couple 100,000 miles without ever having to take them apart, right? Let's see, how many miles are on this? Oh, a whole whopping 41,000 miles? Well, I guess we just proved that theory wrong. I guess Evos do need to be taken apart every once in a while. Why are you trying to get out of the frame? You're in it. Sorry. Okay, but anyway, this is what real brotherhood is about, helping one another out. And in all walks of life, really, when you think about it. Right. But in the motorcycle world, YouTube or not, you get together and you help each other out. I mean, he helped me to get this apart, and it happened a lot faster than if I had done it by myself. And it helps him into knowing what to do on his Sportster if he ever has to take it apart. Now, like I said, that's not a Sportster, but big twin Sportsters and Evo Sportsters, they are exactly alike on the top end. okay, as far as how they come apart and go together. So I guess I'm just going to leave it with you guys like this, okay? And so, wait a minute. I can't say see you guys later or be good to yourselves yet because I forgot to say, you guys go check out Carson's channel, okay? Like I said, that link to his channel is going to be up there. No, over there. Yeah. Or it's down in the description below, okay? So, really good guy, good friend, and, you know, he just started on YouTube not too long ago. How long ago? How old's your channel?
It's about a little over a year, over a year and a half.
Yeah,
like
yeah. You guys go check out his channel, like, subscribe, and if you don't want to, do it anyway, okay? So, until then, you guys keep the rubber side down, and you be good to yourselves.
And thanks a lot.